Hey everyone, Denise here with the third of our classes from February 2024. So I want to take a quick run through with you if you got the kit to go or you weren't able to join us at class. And if that's the case, I hope you're feeling better. Or if you have some of these stamps at home or something similar and would like to play along and make your own version, we would love to see them. So if you do that, please be sure that you post them in our group on Facebook. It would be nice if I knew the name of my own Facebook group, right? But I really don't. It's Denise's Creative Cave, but it's Denise's Creative Cave, maybe card classes and layout or card and layout classes. It's something similar to that. You will see it for sure if you do Denise's Creative Cave on Facebook. It's not my close to my heart page. It literally says like card classes within the title. So that's the one, and it's open to the public, so you should be able to find it. So if this video is helpful for you in the end, please do me a favor, and if you like it, click like. And if you would like to see more of the videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much, and let's get on with this for today. So some of this would be pre-cut for you if you got the kit to go, and some of it may not be, so you go from there with it. And again, if you're playing at home, just grab something that's similar and do what you can. So we've got these card bases here. So the first thing you're going to do is cut your card bases. And again, remember, if I speak too fast for you, I'm going too fast, it's a video. Pause, rewind, stop it where you need to, catch up, watch the whole thing through once, and then go back, however it works best for you. So you're going to need one 5x7 card base. So if you take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, obviously white, I'm just using black because it's easier for you to see some of the things I'm doing. Cut it on the 11-inch side, cut it down to 10 inches, and then turn it, and on the 8.5-inch side, cut it down to 7 inches. So you have a 7 by 10 piece of paper when you're done, and score it down the middle at 5 inches so that you've got a 5x7 card. Oh, down the middle on the 10-inch side, because that would be down the middle, right, for 5 inches on the 10-inch side. And then take another of your 8.5 by 11 white pages, and you're going to do two like this. You are going to cut the 11-inch side at 7 inches. You're going to turn it. You're going to cut the 8.5-inch side at 6.25 inches, 6.25. So when you're done, you'll have a rectangle-ish shape of 6.25 by 7. The 7-inch side, score at 3.5. So right down the middle, score at 3.5. So when it's folded, you would have a 6.25 by 3.5 size card. Now you're doing that twice, right? 2 times, because you're doing 2 mini slimlines. Okay, so once you have that done, then you have your stamps. You have your adorable little mice. So take your mice. Now here's what I use. So you can stamp as many as you want. I used the cupcake guy twice, the present guy, the small balloon, and the large balloon. So do those, stamp those. Now, depending on what you're coloring with is what you should stamp with. I used alcohol markers, so I stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black. If you're not using alcohol markers, if you're using colored pencils or Tombow markers or Marvy markers, whatever the case may be, that's the ink that you use. So whether you're using VersaFine for the others, or you're heat embossing because you're doing watercolor, or you're using Memento because it's alcohol markers, that is completely up to you. The colors that I used a yellow, I used an orange, I used gray for the mice, I used a pink, right, for the cheeks, and a green. That was it. I stayed very basic with it, and after I chose these colors, I probably should have done something else, but you know what, I thought it looked just fine. I did not use 2 color markers. I used Tanya's technique. If you don't know Riley and Company, definitely go watch her coloring. She is so great and so easy. She makes it look so easy that even somebody like me can color in the end. I did not use 2 different grades. I didn't shade. I colored the mouse, and after I colored the mouse, and after it was, I went on to the next one. I went back and I just went over the places where there would be a shadow, where there were creases. It's the same marker. And yep, you can see my dye was off a little bit when I cut it, and that's okay. I'm all right with it. It's fine. It's white. I don't care. And the pink I did actually on top of the gray, and the gray just moved out of the way. I did use alcohol markers, and I did use my Copics for these, but any kind will do. All right, so first things first, we used a confetti folder, stencil for this. It was a slimline, as you can see. I did that on purpose so that when we did the card class, I could remind people, put a piece of paper under it because we had to use it 2 different sides. So use whatever stencil you have, because I did not ink your paper if you had to pick it up. So use whatever stencil you like, or use an embossing fold or anything else that you wanted to go ahead and do that. This was just confetti. This was pre-cut for you. If not, grab whatever die, a circle, square, whatever you have. This was pre-cut. So this is a 5x7. Your green is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So we're really just talking about 1/8 shorter than 5 inches, 1/8 shorter than 7 inches. And your white, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay, now I do suggest, if you're stenciling, that you stencil before you do the die cut, but that is, again, completely up to you. So once you're done coloring your mice and you've die cut the mice, or if you don't have the kit, whatever it is you're using, this is popped. So I made sure that I put foam tape along the inside here. Before I do that, though, obviously, I've got my clear piece here. I did wet glue it on the other side. So I did give it a few minutes to dry, and I went on to do another card while that dried, and so it wasn't moving around all the time. So if you're doing that, great, come back to this part later. Then after that was dry, I put the foam tape so it was connecting, right? Because I'm gonna put these here. And then I did put foam tape here and up here just to make sure that, you know, it wasn't collapsing on the bottom. So what I did then was I figured out where my opening would be. I put my little shaker bits, flattened them down a little bit, but I kept them very, you know, in a very central location. And then I flipped my paper and put it on top. I didn't try to line it up with this upside down and then do the card, because yeah, that would never work for me. And this worked, and it worked fine. I did pop my little mouse here. I used this one because I wanted it to go in that direction, and that was the only one that did, and it was big enough to cover the opening that I made. So that's it. Nice and easy, and flat glue this down. This is nothing but die cuts, right? And you have them all in your kit. So this is one of the mini slimline. The first thing you do is cut down the blue. Now the blue is not going to go side to side. I think it's 6 and not 6 1/4, but you're going to cover it with this. You may need to trim the top. So make sure that it fits. It's going to be a little short this way, but make sure it fits that way, right? Glue that down flat first. The next thing you want to do is take your green and you want to trim it down to 6 1/4. Same as the card. I only put glue on the bottom. Now your white isn't on yet. I only put glue on the bottom because, as you can see, maybe my mice, I wanted to stick them underneath my grass. So I needed to be able to shove them under, so I couldn't glue the whole thing down. If you want your mice on top of the grass, go ahead and glue the whole thing down. It's your card, do whatever you want. But I put my glue on the bottom because that's all I really needed. And then after the grass, put your white frame. Now what you can do before you start gluing anything else is you can play with the mice and the clouds and where you want them. Because now that everything else is in place, you know how much real estate on the blue that you have to work with. And that's it. Glue them all down. These are all flat glued. There's no pop dots. Easy peasy, right? Nice and easy. And then there's this. So you're going to take your other slimline. You're going to take your yellow frame and you're going to attach it directly on. You have a sheet of paper that this was cut out for you with the wishes. Now the 2 S's are connected and these are connected, so you just have to put those together, glued next to each other. This is another great die by Crafty Meraki. I've said about them in a different video that we did with classes today. If you don't know Bindu, go ahead over to her site. Crafty Meraki is Meraki, and check out her site. She's in the middle of changing some things and what she's carrying and, you know, moving a lot of to her own things. She's got some wonderful things, especially if you like dyes, but more importantly, florals. She's got some beautiful florals. Go check them out. So you've got this. Now I used mustard seed, saltwater taffy, salty ocean. And that's how I got the green blended that way, the purple blended that way. Now I did it and then I cut, but because I assume that you don't have this dye, I cut it for you. And now you'll have to ink it that way. So the best thing may be one of those sticky mats or repositionable tape or something along those lines to get that done. I'm sure it'll work out. I mean, we used to do it all the time. So figure out the way that works best for you with what you have and go ahead and do that. Your birthday was pre-cut. It goes right over. And this guy I popped and I just put sideways. That's it. That was our easy card. All right. So we've got these 3. I've been wanting to use these mice for a very long time and I'm so glad I did. And I'm surprised. I really like this. I think I would do this again. I'm not big on shaker cards, but I do like this. I think he's adorable. And this, I was surprised I actually really liked when I was done, because if you know me, cutesy is not my thing, but I just loved these mice. So if you joined us, thank you. And if you make any of these cards with any stamp that you have of any adorable little critters, please be sure that you post them on our Facebook page and our Facebook groups that we can all see and ooh and ah over them. If you use this video and if it was helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more in the future, please go ahead and hit subscribe. Thanks so much, everyone. If you're on Long Island, I hope to see you at a class soon. We do them every month. And if you're not local to us, I hope you'll consider playing along at home with what you have. Have a great night, everyone.